Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Brokerpreneur Podcast. I'm Dr. Ben Spears. I'll be your ambassador of flow for this next 15 to 20 minutes. I'm here with my co-pilot, the big guy, as usual, Matt Vi. How you doing, Matt?
Doing good. I'll be the big guy for the next 15 to 20 minutes. How about that? 25 minutes, maybe 30. It depends whether I start rambling or not.
Dude, you're going to be the big guy forever.
I hear you.
Right? As long as you're standing next to me.
Right.
Well, we got a really cool podcast for everybody. Matt, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody what we're talking about, because this is important.
Do you want to attract talent? Now, don't turn the podcast off. Hear me out. Okay.
Stop it.
That's such a freaking buzzword right now, especially when it comes to recruiting and when it comes to any type of hiring and all that. Everybody's saying the same thing. Oh, I want to attract the talent. I want to attract the talent. Here's what they really mean. I want to do a minimal amount. And I want people to know me well enough for them to come to me.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So rock on. I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely possible. But what you do and who you are can't be a secret. If it is, you're not going to attract anything, period.
Yeah. Or you might attract people who are not talented.
Right. Well, you're not even going to attract them.
Yeah, you're not even going to attract. Yeah, it's a secret.
It's a secret. Shh.
Don't tell anybody.
I like to whisper too.
Yeah. I just want to have me and an assistant.
Right. Right.
Well, guys, wherever you're listening to this, hit that follow button. Or that subscribe button if you're watching us on YouTube. Really
or
appreciate
both
that,
of them.
Right? Hit both of them, right? Just go to every platform you can think of and hit a button.
Smash away.
Yeah, smash away. There's no better time than the present than to go to brokerpreneurpodcast.com and sign up for our weekly newsletter. You know, we don't keep that information a secret, right? We want to make sure that you guys have something cool that you can talk to with your agents and your recruits every single week, along with keeping you up to date on our podcast, what's going on, our latest blog, and then, also any kind of specials or cool things that we have going on with Prospect Boomerang. So go there, check that out, brokerpreneurpodcast.com. We would absolutely love to have you as a member of our Brokerpreneur community online. So, Matt.
Yep.
Talent. I'm the talent acquisition happiness engineer. You see all these titles. Come on, guys. You're the recruiter.
Yep.
You know you're the recruiter. Everybody knows
right.
You're the recruiter.
You're not fooling anybody.
Right? That's not a secret.
No.
But you can't keep it a secret. We're going to talk about two or three things along those lines of what you need to do, what you need to know about yourself, and that kind of stuff in your company, so you don't keep that a secret. And the first one is knowing what you stand for, right? Straight
Absolutely.
up from the beginning.
Absolutely. And knowing what you stand for means knowing who you are. We've talked about that a whole lot. But what do you not put up with?
Yes.
Okay, what is it? So whenever we say, what do you stand for? In your market, are you known as the most reputable agents? Or are you known as the most non-reputable agents, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to attract talent, and you're not going to attract the people that you want if that's not who you are. If you're untrained and all you're doing is offering the highest commission split, there's tons of brokerages that make a lot of money with that. Okay, so rock on.
Yep.
If that's all you are, you can't expect to attract people that are the top talent a certain way if that's not who is already there.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you have to do is you have to understand what you stand for. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. But what is it that when other people think of your brokerage, what is it that when you think of your brokerage, what is it when your agents think of your brokerage, what is it that they would say is who you are and how you're looked at in the marketplace?
Yeah.
You have to know what that is, and you either have to embrace the hell out of it or you have to change the hell out of it. One of the two.
Yeah.
Okay. So know what it is that you stand for. Lean into the pieces that you want to be that way, right? If you're reputable but not the most productive and you want to be more productive, then lean into the reputable part on your marketing and your advertising and in your conversations with people and all that kind of stuff. Lean into the reputation part of it, but don't lean into the lower per person productivity part of it.
Right.
Right. So that means know who you are and what you are, and pay attention to the pieces that you want to be better. And that's what's going to allow you that's what's going to help you attract those people that you want, because that's what you're putting on display.
Yeah. And, now you know who you are, right? Hopefully you do.
Yeah.
In that last 2 minutes, you probably found out.
All right.
But now you need to know, and have a really good grasp of what it is that you even have to offer.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? So let's talk about that a little bit.
You have to be clear in what it is that you offer.
Yeah. Hey guys, this podcast is powered by Prospect Boomerang.
We all know broker owners struggle with profitability. Prospect Boomerang compounds your profits by recruiting the best agents to your brokerage.
For consistent growth, visit prospectboomerang.com.
You can't be fake, you can't trick them, you can't whatever, right?
Yeah.
If you attract somebody that would be considered top talent and they show up and they're known in the marketplace a certain way and they show up and you're not who you said that you were, they're going to tell other people. You're not going to continue attracting other people, okay? So what you have to do is you have to know what you stand for, which we just talked about.
Yep.
And then you have to be clear in communicating the parts of that you want the whole office, your whole company, your whole everything to be. You have to be clear in communicating that to other people. And you have to, in order to do that, you have to know who you are, right? What do you stand for? You got to know what you offer. So whenever, so in coaching, whenever, there's pillars for your interview and all that kind of stuff. We're not going to get into all that, but I don't want, for the people that I'm coaching, I don't want them to have a 38 paragraph dissertation on every tool and system that they have.
Yeah.
Okay. I want them to understand the tools and systems, the things that they do. What is it that is supportive of the agent and their market? Okay. Yeah. What helps them grow profitability? What shows them support? That's what the words you should be using instead of tools and systems. Whole different conversation.
Yep.
What is it that you're doing that helps them understand how they're going to succeed? What is it that you offer that's going to help them do that? You have to be able to clearly articulate that. You have to be able to articulate that in your interview. So I don't want them doing 58 different things. I want them going, okay, here's who I am in the market. Here's the type of agents that I want to be part of my office. What is it that I offer that supports that?
Yeah.
Okay. So if just a listing company, right? Let's just say you're a listing company, you're good at it. Your reputation is that you list a lot of properties and you want to do more of that. And that's the agents you want to attract. You want to, let's just say that you want to focus on that piece of the business, reputable listing agents. Okay. So now the tools that you talk about in your interview have to be around that. Okay. Yeah. So you're not going to say, I want to attract agents that are listing agents, that are great listing agents, that are very reputable listing agents. And then you sit down in your interview and you spend half of your time when you talk about business growth, talking about web leads.
Yeah.
Right. Because web leads typically are not listing web leads, right?
That's exactly right.
So those things just have to correlate.
Yeah.
If you want to attract talent, those things have to correlate. So that means that, who you are, if you understand 3 or 4 things that are profitability and support, focused on all of your pillars of what you talk about in your interview, if that supports who you are as the office, then when people get there, they're like, man, this is exactly what I thought it was. This is exactly who I thought they were. And then they'll go tell other people about that, and they're excited to tell other people about that because they got what they signed up for.
Yes. No, you're exactly right. And this brings us to our last thing, and we just kind of talked a little bit about that, right? But I want to say it in this way because everybody knows, like, you write our show notes and I bring the flow,
right?
But I loved how this was, and so I'm just going to kind of like almost like read it. But this should shape all of your conversations, but not be all of your conversations.
Absolutely.
Right? And I just to me, like when I read that, I was like, that's just okay. Yeah, that's game over. That's going to summarize so much to everyone because it's too easy to be like, well, look at all these tools I got.
Right. And people do that all the time.
Yeah. Here, listen to how awesome I am.
Right. That's exactly right. And listen to how you could be so much better if you weren't at the shitty company you're at right now. If you just joined mine.
Yeah, exactly.
You're attacking their business, right? Whenever you do that. So here's what here's what that kind of means, right? Yeah. So whenever I wrote that, this is how I kind of looked at that. If you have an intention in your conversation,
yeah,
and that intention is even if it's not spoken out loud, but you're making it part of the framework of your conversation, it's going to come across whenever you actually do speak those points.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, oh, that really makes sense. And when they said this, I see how that supports that, what it is, right? If you want to attract people, then your framework and what you say has to be their total experience.
Yeah.
You can't have a framework that looks one way and then what you say looks another and then try to attract a type of person to one or the other of those, because it just doesn't, it doesn't work. It's not right. So you have to make sure that you're putting that on display. So, shape what you, have intention to everything that you say.
Yeah. Seems like we had a quote sometime about value and experience. I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, I'll throw it out there just in case, right? The first thing an agent should receive is value, and the first thing they should experience is a culture of growth, right? Yeah. That is fundamentally everything that we talk about. You don't hear that in every podcast, right? For sure. We don't throw that out in every podcast, but 100% everything that we talk about in all the podcasts, that comes through.
Yeah, it's fundamental.
That's right. And so our clients, what type of clients do we have? Those type of clients.
Yep.
Who doesn't want to deal with do business with us? The ones that whenever I call and they've got information from us and we start to talk and everything, and they're like, oh, I just need experienced agents. I just need you to make phone calls and experienced agents. Well, tell me about your process of hiring them and everything. Oh no, we can interview. I'm great at interviewing. We can do that part. You just send me more appointments. That's not the people that want to deal with us.
Yeah.
Right. And the reason why is because everything they've heard on the podcast, all the tens of thousands of pounds of content, I don't even know how to describe how much content we have. All of that is geared towards the first thing an agent should experience is a culture of growth.
Yes. The
first thing they should receive is value, period.
Yep.
And everything else is shaped around that. So in your conversations, when you're recruiting, it just needs to be that same way. And then you're going to start attracting the people that you want. And as you have those conversations, they're going to feel comfortable with it because that's who and what you are, which is a fit for them.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Well, we're going to get to that action item in just a second, guys. But you got to listen to me for, give me 20 seconds, all right? Just, take a sip of coffee while I'm talking. wherever you're listening to this, you can hear that.
Oh, you didn't me?
Yeah,
oh.
I didn't run. You hear me talk all the time.
Oh.
Guys, wherever you're listening to this,
coffee.
iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Deezer, or any of those platforms, make sure you hit that follow button. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that red subscribe button, that bell right beside of it. You get notified every time we drop a new episode. Go to prospectboomerang.com if you're looking to grow your brokerage and you want to do it in a very relationship way versus just making cold calls all day long. We have a program that fits all different sizes of brokerage, and we have different price points so that we make sure that this fits, and because we don't want your win to be stressful.
Right.
We want your win to be exciting, and we want to be excited to help you and be part of that. So go to Prospect Boomerang, check that out. Let us know if you have any questions. Matt?
Yeah, Ben.
Give us an action item, man.
So here's what I need you to do. I need you to write down, as soon as you get done with the podcast, write down the 3 things that you think fundamentally describe your brokerage. It can be reputational. It can be, training. It can be
karate,
market leader. It can be karate, whatever it is. 3 things that fundamentally shape who it is, who your brokerage is. Okay.
Yeah.
And I want you to set that on a piece of paper, give it a couple of days, let it stew a little bit. Make sure you line through them if you need to and all that kind of stuff. And then in your next sales meeting, I want you to walk in and I want you to have a piece of paper and pens for everybody. And I want them, or they can go on their phone if you don't want to waste the paper and the pens. They can go on their phone and write in their notes 3 things that they think the brokerage stands for.
Yeah. And then have them send it to you.
And compare notes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd love it if everybody is all the same. But you're not the same thing to all people. What you're looking for is a thread of consistency.
Yeah.
And if the thread of consistency is not what you want, it's time for you to change it right now.
Yeah.
But if the thread of consistency is what you want, then guess what your recruiting meetings should be about? Guess what your content should be about? Guess what your conversations you're having with people should be about? All of those things should be about that thread of consistency. If you do that, you're going to start attracting the people you want. You're going to win more with the agents that you want to have in your office. And then at that point, it's all going to be about a culture of growth.
Yeah. No, I love that. I hope it's all karate, guys.
I hope it's all karate too.
Yeah, that'd be killer.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended. But guys, this podcast, I feel like it's killer, right? And it's essentially the karate of recruiting.
Right.
But we don't do this just to teach you guys how to roundhouse kick and knock your brokerage out of the park.
Right.
Right. We do this podcast for one reason and one reason alone. Tell them why that is, Matt.
Because we want them to have a recruiting KO. No, I'm just kidding. We want to be part of your win.
Black belt recruiter.
That's right.
See you guys.